Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closures.io, where we explore the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Milan Kohut, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced, the lessons learned, and the strategies fueling future growth. Today, I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined by Barry Brooksby, the founder and CEO of Focus Wealth Group, specializing as an infinite banking practitioner and real estate strategist. With over 25 years of experience, he has helped clients gain control of their wealth through large-scale real estate investing and innovative financial strategies. Barry is recognized for managing portfolios exceeding $100 million and for creating education programs that empower clients to achieve tax-free retirement income. His work stands out for its focus on putting clients in control of their finances with practical, proven solutions. With that being said, Barry, let me officially welcome you to Founders Future.
Thank you, Milan.
It's great to have you, man. Let's dive into the conversation right away. What I love to do with all of my guests is a little bit of traveling back in time. So before you even had this company, what were you doing before? And then eventually, what was the motivation for starting the business?
Yeah, 25 plus years ago, I was playing guitar in a rock and roll band and a country band. I was teaching guitar at a university. I just love music and played guitar for over 45 years of my life. So that's what my life looked like. I wanted to be a rock star. And I watched my parents, though, as a kid growing up, doing real estate investing and building spec homes. And so I did have this bug inside of me to be an investor someday. But the music business, that music world, guitar, all of that was my life a long time ago.
I love it, man. I used to play guitar myself, so that's funny. I played it for 13 years, so I definitely get the passion that you had for the music. Now, knowing that there is some background in terms of your family, would you say that this was like a real inspiration in terms of becoming investor yourself, or how much did that actually reflect on your own journey?
It was a massive part of it. You watch your parents do certain things, you want to be like them in that area, especially for me with investing. To me, it was cool. It was sexy. It's like, hey, I want to be an investor someday, especially a real estate investor. It sounded really awesome. And then getting into that journey and discovering real estate, what's possible with real estate, owning tangible assets. And I remember buying my first home when I was 24 years old and what that felt like, and then building equity. But yeah, my parents were influential in that because they did a lot of real estate deals. But for me, I pursued the path of music and then later discovered, well, there's not a whole lot of money to be made in music, teaching at a university and that type of a music career. So I had this passion. I wanted more in my life, and the investing was natural to me because I had that bug planted as a kid.
Yeah, good for you for weighing those options and really making that
Yeah.
jump from music to investing, man. What a journey, though. Barry, let's talk about where this journey overall got you and what the business really looks like today. So, in this part of the past podcast, what I'm trying to do is get the listeners closer to understanding who it is exactly that you're looking to help right now. And also, what is that core offer that you have for your clients? So, again, just go ahead and tell us exactly who do you help and then what do you help them with?
Yeah. I want to talk primarily with business owners, real estate investors, people that have discretionary income, high income earners, etc. I want to back up one step because for me, moving into investing, it was a journey. But what I saw was that most people were investing in the wrong places. Like today, you have 401ks, IRAs, brokerage accounts, mutual funds, ETFs. And 25 years ago, Milan, I was putting money into that type of system. And I had clients that were going into that market based system as well. And after a year or two, I would get these calls from my clients and they would say, Barry, I'm not making money. I'm losing money. What do I do? I was so new in the business. I didn't know exactly what to tell them. So I'd go back to a couple of my mentors. Hey, my clients are losing money. What do I tell them? And the message that I got, the answer I got over and over again was tell your clients they're in it for the long haul. And that just didn't sit well with me. I couldn't continue down this path, losing sleep at night. My clients are losing sleep at night, saying, oh, it's okay. You're in it for the long haul. Don't worry about losing money. It's terrible. So, what I did is I decided I'm going to couple real estate with what I do today, which is guaranteed investing and tax-free investing through what's called cash value, properly structured insurance. And it's a uniquely designed type of policy that we call infinite banking. Money's guaranteed to grow every year. You have access to cash. You're not locking your money up till you're 59 and a half. And it's 100% tax-free if done right. So the clients that I'm working with that are interested, maybe they've lost money in the market themselves. They're tired of the volatility. They're tired of paying the IRS a ton of money in taxes. I help people grow more wealth and mitigate and lower their tax responsibility. That's a huge part of what I do.
You sold me. But let's dive even deeper into everything that you just mentioned, and more specifically the offer. If you could shine a bit more light in terms of what does the process look like though? What is the frequency of the clients really working with you, seeing you? What sort of stages are included in this journey? Just tell us more.
Yeah, awesome. First off, a person needs to discover and figure out how much money they want to put into infinite banking. It's an investment, but it's a guaranteed investment because you never lose money. And going through this journey, we're saying, okay, you've got to get an approval. Not everyone qualifies for what we're talking about. You do have to get an approval based on your age, your health, your income, your lifestyle. If you're jumping out of airplanes and racing motorcycles, you may not get approved for this. But the idea is this: if you want guarantees, if you want access to liquid cash, and you want tax free use of that money, this is the only place I've ever discovered where you can get all those in one product. And it checks a lot more boxes because there's a permanent death benefit for estate planning, legacy planning, creditor protection. So Milan, a person does have to get approved. Once they're approved, we can get that policy in place. They can fund it monthly, they can fund it quarterly, they can fund it annually. I set money aside every month. I fund all my policies annually. I build up a bunch of cash. I then take policy loans from that cash value, and I teach my clients to do the same, to go buy more real estate, to invest in a business, to invest in crypto. See, the wealthy leverage assets. They're going to take loans from their assets, and loans are tax free, and they're going to go buy more assets. And that's the power of what I help clients with, is that you can use this properly structured high cash value whole life policy for infinite banking and go buy more assets and create more wealth. When you look at what the wealthy do, they leverage. They're not putting money in 401ks or IRAs. They're saying, hey, I want large X multiples on my investments. I'm going to house money in a safe place that is liquid and tax-free and guaranteed. Most banks have billions and billions of dollars of this asset. Corporations have billions of dollars of this asset, and wealthy people do too. That's the journey. That's the path, helping people really create more wealth and then have a ton of tax-free money in their future.
Brilliant. Now, Barry, what I'm thinking about is though, obviously, you're looking at this business model and this industry through the lens of opportunity, right? To see how much possibilities there actually are in terms of your money, saving money on taxes, but also making more money by those smart investments. But you also have to look at this thing from the lenses of a business owner and really making those decisions and seeing who you end up working with and maybe who not, right? So what I'm curious about is, what is that process for you? What are those specifications that you're looking for to make that kind of decision and see who you end up working with?
Yeah, there is an ideal client, right? If someone is 70 years old and in poor health, that person's going to have a difficult time doing what we're talking about. But if you're between the ages of 30 and 50, this is remarkable. And if you have discretionary income, this is remarkable. And if you find that you want more deductions or write offs for your business, this is remarkable. You want more tax free money in your future and you never have to worry about losing sleep at night about losing money, this is remarkable. Milan, what's interesting about your question, and specifically for business owners have a need for cash, right? They're either buying equipment or they're expanding through more purchases, right? I've got dentist clients and they're buying more practices, or chiropractors or doctors, they're buying more practices. Could be a construction owner and he's got to get the bulldozers and the tractors and the dump trucks, whatever it might be. Or it could be just employees. You're a professional and you want to hire more employees. All that is business growth. Your number one asset as a business owner should be your business. That's where your focus should be, rather than chasing bright shiny objects of, oh, I think I can earn high returns in this mutual fund or this crypto or this stock. Focus on your business. So I love working with business owners between the ages of 30 and 50 that have discretionary income and they're wanting to grow. They're wanting to have their money in a safe place and then it's ready to be used at their discretion when they see an opportunity or they're ready to reinvest back into the business to grow even further.
Absolutely. Thank you for walking us through that. Now, when it comes to obviously, this is a business podcast, right? So when we look at your business and more specifically the monetization model that you have in place, for some of the listeners that are maybe not that familiar with who you are and what the company is, why don't you shine a bit more light on that part? Are you coming from a part of consulting, a part of coaching, or how do you approach monetization for this type of business?
Yeah. I consider myself a wealth coach. So I'm consulting with my clients on how they can create more wealth. It could be real estate investing, it could be their own business, LLCs, corporations. And I've got a team of CPAs and accountants and estate attorneys that I work with. But it's also helping a business owner recognize where are some of the holes, where are some of the leaks in their business that they're not really perhaps seeing. Leaking money is a big part of a business owner because a business owner doesn't have all the tools in their brain all at the same time. They're probably surrounding themselves with people that are helping. They should create a team as well. I really want to help not just business owners, but others recognize, are we leaking money? Are we paying more in taxes that we shouldn't be paying? Are there ways to mitigate our tax burden? Are we losing money? You look at any 10-year history of a stock market investment, there are 2 to 3 years of losing years in that 10-year time frame. How do you avoid that? How do you mitigate against that? So there's some things that we do. My business model is not only as a consultant and as a coach, but I'm in the United States here, Arizona, what's called a producer. I'm a life insurance producer, a life insurance advisor. Not all life insurance is the same. And that's what people really don't understand. You think life insurance, well, how can you make money in life insurance? How can you leverage life insurance? There's a unique way to do that. So, as a life insurance producer, as a wealth coach, I'm helping people understand that under the umbrella of life insurance, which, by the way, the Wall Street Journal called this the tax shelter of the rich. So, under this umbrella of life insurance, you're getting benefits that you can't get anywhere else. That's what I want to focus on, not selling you a life insurance policy for a death benefit, although that's important. I want to show you why life insurance is the tool of the wealthy to get all these other benefits that we've talked about.
Beautiful. Good for you, man. Everything that you said is making me excited. So I want to dive deeper into everything that you've mentioned, basically. But now that we really have a better understanding of who it is that you're looking to help and what that person or that individual might look like, be like, behave, what I also want to touch on is the back end side of the business and really having the ability to get in front of those right people and really have the ability to speak to them the language they use. So when it comes to this, what are you doing from the marketing perspective and maybe in terms of a lead generation strategy to make all of that happen?
Yeah, I love this because marketing is huge and you could be the best at what you do. But if people don't know about you, it doesn't matter, Juan. So I'm generating new content week after week, month after month. And podcasts like this, webinars, videos, we do paid advertising, we do organic advertising. So the content is huge. And I tell people, put out your best stuff, right? Don't have any secrets. Be authentic. Tell people like it is. I love it when a client comes to me and they'll say, Barry, I watched 10 YouTube videos about infinite banking. And then I watched yours. It was the best I saw. That's why I'm talking to you. I
Mhm.
want to tell people keep things simple. Never demean someone, but you want to keep things simple. Talk to someone as if you're talking to a third grader in that simplicity, right? Because when you start getting technical, it's going to go over someone's head. We want to keep it
Very
very
true.
simple, but content is huge. Be educational. Put out that information that is going to educate people about what you do. People want the education, they want the knowledge. And what's interesting is I've seen in life personally and also with a lot of my clients that the way someone mitigates risk is through education. Milana, I'm not going to go perform surgery on someone tomorrow. That would be very risky for me and even more risky for the patient, right? Because I don't have the education, I don't have the experience, I don't have the knowledge. So we want people, I want my clients to be educated. So my number one recommendation for someone that's either starting a business or has a thriving business now is put out more content. Educate people that you want attracted to you about what you do. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, right? We know all these social media platforms. Get the content out there, show them what you do, and keep it simple.
Absolutely. Barry, I just got to build on top of what you just mentioned. First of all, I would definitely agree with the perspective that you just provided. And I genuinely hope that people are listening to what you just said because that was pure gold, especially when you were talking about the simplicity. Now, when it comes to this, there's many individuals who feel like if I'm talking to high net worth individuals, I should be using specific terminology just to prove my worth and prove that I'm somebody huge. I know exactly what I'm talking about. But regardless of whether we talk about the organic reach or paid advertisement strategy, the simpler it gets, the more brevity you can keep towards creating such a message, the better. So I would definitely agree with what you said on this. Yeah, that's beautiful. Now, when it comes to this, obviously, you guys are taking a lot of activities in terms of really getting in front of the right audience. So I'm curious, have you already built out your teams internally in terms of marketing folks, maybe some people helping on the sales front to really get the most out of the project and have the ability to scale? Or what is your strategy there?
Yeah, and look, it didn't happen overnight. It's been a lot of trial and error. So the enemy to good is great. Something doesn't have to be great for you to put it out there. I remember when I wrote my very first article, and I'm going to come back to answering your question
Mhm.
specifically, but I remember when I first wrote my article and I put it out on LinkedIn and I was so proud of it. This is 10 plus years ago. And I look at it today and it's pathetic. It's four paragraphs, but I was so proud of this article. It was published on LinkedIn and I was talking about some tax strategies. I didn't let great get in my way. I just started doing it. So, yes, over time, I've built a team, people that are helping with the email broadcasts that are going out on a consistent basis to our list, right? And we're adding people to that list all the time, and our YouTube subscriptions, etc. People that are doing video editing. I love to do two things. I love to be in front of clients and I love to create content. All the other stuff, the editing, the marketing, the logistics of all that, I have a team take care of those things. So, what are you good at? If you're listening, what are you good at? What are your strengths? Focus on those strengths and what you want to do, and hire and get those people surrounding you a part of your team to do the other things. And what's interesting is if you get the right people, those things will be those people's strengths. So you're all coming together using one another's strengths. The person that's doing your editing and taking care of the logistics, they probably love that. Great. I don't love that. So I'm going to hire someone and have someone on my team that's doing that. But it took years to get there. So
Sure.
don't feel that if you're not successful next week in all these things, you keep moving forward. And that's been my mantra. Make things happen and keep moving forward.
Loving it, man. Thank you, Barry. Now, let's talk a little bit about the future of your company before we wrap it up, and more specifically, the short-term goals. So, Barry, when you think about the next 12 months, what would you say are the biggest goals, targets, revenue, milestones that you have set for yourself?
Yeah. Here in the United States, I've got clients all across the country. I've done this again for 25 years. So I'm always of a growth mindset. Want to 2x, 3x, 10 times my reach, the amount of people I'm talking to, but also my personal income. I really want to influence others for good. Yes, we're making money, but in my book here, Live Rich, Die Rich, I talk about wealth. Wealth is not just money. It's an important part of wealth, right? But wealth is spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, relational, like our relationships. And money plays a huge role in that. So I want to help other people create more wealth, but in all these areas of their life, not just money, because we know people that have a lot of money, they're miserable, right? Or they don't have relationships that they should have. So with my business looking forward, I'm always in a growth mindset, and that's creating more content, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, 10 times Xing the amount of business I'm doing today. And that expansion comes from relationships, like this relationship that I've created with you and others that are going to hear the podcast. We want that to be synergistic, but I also want it to snowball. Get the content out there, help people. When you help people, karma happens, good things happen. So I've always taken the mindset and the opinion of I'm not commission driven. Matter of fact, what I do is a very low commission type of product, but because I'm able to help more people, I get referrals, I get repeat business. So I want to grow, I want to help more people, I want to reach more people, and in turn, influence people for good in a lot of different areas of their life.
Yeah. I love how you mentioned a couple minutes ago that a big part of running an operation like this is realizing that this is not overnight success. As a matter of fact, there's no such thing, right? I'm just loving the fundamentals that you've built for this company over the years. Obviously, there's a lot of exciting stuff going on. It's going to get even better and better over time. So I'm going to be your fan cheering up here. And Barry, let me just say thank you for taking the time today, man. It was an exciting conversation. I loved it. I hope you were comfortable on the podcast as well. And if anybody from the audience wanted to reach out, get in touch with you, maybe even work with you one day, what is the best way to go about that?
Yeah, focuswealthgroup.com. Go to the website. You can also email me, Barry at focuswealthgroup.com. Got a ton of YouTube content out there. Go check out the videos that I put out, constant increasing the content and the reach there. And would love the opportunity. If you're in the United States, I can work with you in the United States. And Milan, it's been a pleasure. Appreciate you having me.
Thanks so much, man. I really appreciate you too. Good stuff. Everybody reach out to Barry, look into his stuff. It's an amazing operation here. Listeners, if today's conversation inspired you, make sure to subscribe to Founders Future on your favorite platform. And also, if you're a business owner, more specifically a consultant or a coach, or you have an agency and you're trying to scale the business and really enhance both your sales and marketing efforts, also visit closures.io, get in touch with our team, and discover how exactly we scaled our company from zero to over 30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on crushing it, and I'll see you next one.